What an honor it is to have you with us, Giorgio. Thanks so much for taking the time. Where are you joining us from?
I'm in Torino now. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, brother, for having me. It's always an honor. And I love my time in LA, and I always love to talk about MLS and talk with you.
No, thank you for taking the time to sit with us and have this chat. We appreciate it, man.
Giorgio, do you get a chance to keep an eye on Major League Soccer at all from afar?
Yes, of course. I watch all of the AFC results and game. Unfortunately, not so much live because it's really in the middle of the night. Sometimes I wake up early when it's like late in the night in the West Coast, and it's early in the morning. And in Italy, that I found some moment to watch, especially the second half. That is almost at 6 a.m., 6:30. That's okay. But I always watch the results, the highlights. I'm in touch with my former colleagues, players, and coaches, and the staff, whatever in the organization there. And I always have a look at MLS results, what is going on there. That is still on my favorites on the live score result on the MLS app for watching also 360 or the
Yes, Giorgio.
That's I'm following you like many others all over the world.
No, we love that. A little bit of a shaky season for LAFC. Not shaky, but up and down. But you got to be excited about what you're seeing now from them and their chances later on in the postseason.
For everyone in play, and yeah, obviously off the pitch, but much more obvious if you talk to us on the pitch that the hat-trick score yesterday, 2 days ago, whatever it is, it was amazing, and they start to find the right confidence and the right feelings with Bouanga, that this special duo could give us a lot of hope for the playoffs if we are able to find a balance with the midfield and the defense. The right shape. I think that they could be the duo, a monster duo for the league.
They're so exciting to watch, aren't they? The two of them together at full pace. I'd say from a defensive mindset perspective, they must be a nightmare to go up against.
Yes, and I always hated to play against Sonny because it was really hard to understand what he can do. He could go on the right and the left. He has space to go on depth, but he's also able to connect in between the lines and shoot from 25 meters. That is very hard to mark. What I appreciate in Bouanga is not just the effectiveness on goal, because he's scoring a lot, but also the quantity of field that he could cover, that going back and forth. And sometimes we needed to rest him a bit in order to use him just on the offense and ask him to do not come back too much in order to be ready for transition. But it was really, I didn't know him before his arrival in LA. I understood a bit his potential at the beginning when he joined the first 2-3 months, but I didn't expect so much, honestly. His ability on scoring at the beginning, we didn't see in training. We start to smell a bit after at the beginning of the second season when we started the preseason. He started to score.
Were you part in any way of the recruiting process with Son?
No.
Okay, so I won't even go there.
Not part of the recruiting process, no, but I knew before. Before that I reached out with John and the ownership during the summer, and I knew that was a possibility at the beginning of the summer. I was in LA in June. I saw them during the Club World Cup. That I know that was going on, and what I said is, if you're able to do it, go.
If you know these things, Giorgio, you got to text us. You got to let me and Kevin and Sash know. I want to get ahead of these things, you know.
Sorry.
I wanted to quickly mention something about Danny Bouanga. I had an interview yesterday and just talking about the mindset and goal scorers in the league, you know, and what it takes to be as dangerous. But I think what people don't really give Bouanga credit for is his relentlessness. I think his fitness is a huge tool. And you being a defender, you know, that you were, I couldn't imagine playing against someone that can run that fast, you know, with that intensity, that pace and power for 95 minutes. It must be so difficult.
And also for him, it's better to play than to train, because in the end, he loves to play and he loves to push himself just on the game. He's young enough or fit enough in order to have this type of consistency on the performance, but he could go back and forth for the whole game. And sometimes when we have training and he's not pushing his body to really the 100%, he's losing a bit of shape. And then let him play a lot. I was shocked one time I went to Africa to play for the national team. He came back and in less than 48 hours and he played again and he scored again. That is something, yeah, but he's doing. And I think it's really hard for a team in MLS to having a player like him and thinking to the future. We are very lucky to brought him at a normal price, very average price, and to use him in this year.
Yeah. Giorgio, we were chatting last week on the show, myself, Brad, and Sasha Kleshtin, about personalities within our game and how Son is just that infectious, lovable personality. As were you, by the way. When you were here in Major League Soccer, I think you were the most loved player on the field, and you showed that personality off it as well. How much do you enjoy seeing players when they really showcase their personality just beyond the game like Son does?
I love it, and I really what I said about Sonny during the summer when I started about these rumors that he would have been the guy that could have changed the locker room, because as you have seen at the beginning of the season, starting with really roller coaster, not able to have continuity and consistency on the results, especially on the road, and also with the CONCACAF Champions League, the Club Cup, the team lost many points, and we lost also this type of happiness and joy that Sonia has brought back, not just for the fans, but also for the player inside the locker. You could feel now during every celebration, and I think most of these things has been brought from Sony, and obviously his arrival. We have to say thank to the ownership, to John Torrington, that is again find another great signing for LAFC. And I a very big relationship with Steve Cherundolo. It's the last month for him, and we all hope that he could arrive to the end lifting a trophy.
Giorgio, speaking of big signings, I remember you and Gareth Bale came, two huge signings for the league and for LAFC. I played with Gareth Bale at Southampton. He was just 16. He was very immature, always joking around. Was he similar at LAFC, and do you have any stories about him?
I didn't know about him when I signed for LAFC, and when I started the conversation, didn't know anything. I've read on internet just a week after my announcement, and just a couple of weeks after I signed my contract in London, I said, "Wow, that's starting to be good." And after my arrival, Bouanga, and then Telio, and also we have changed the squad a bit during the window. During this January, February, the winter window, the team has completely changed, and I think what we had at that time was a type of unicorn, because the team was very good. We had depth that we really were the best team, but in the end we were very lucky to win, because if you remember, I said the craziest game. I've just watched Juventus Inter last week that with comebacks for 3, and Juventus Borussia Dortmund is 4-4. That probably the 3 craziest game in my life. But honor to credit to Philly that did a very huge season that year. But we were a team that is very hard to see again in MLS. Just Miami now probably has much more quality on the first 11, but I think that we were much more balanced if you consider the depth on the bench and the 2 teams that we were at that time. We had on the bench Garrett, we were on the bench Telio, that is a very good player that has played in La Liga in Italy, and after LAC in Saudi for a few years. And we were a very, very, very good team.
I agree.
Right. Giorgio, get off the fence here, all right? I really want you to hammer home your answer, because Bradley feels strongly on this, and the guys on the desk disagree with him. You won the Supporters' Shield, and you won MLS Cup with LAFC. If you could pick one, which one is it?
MLS Cup.
Oh, that's Bradley!
He's American already. He's American. They've changed you so quick.
Uh, I understood being there that the supporter shield is just regular season and it's not enough. If you want to be the real winner, you have to win the MLS Cup.
That
In order
hurts.
in order to don't have any doubt, I decide to win both.
Oh yes, what a legend!
What an answer.
He wins where he
Unbelievable.
goes.
You're smart. You were better than me. I could only manage the shield. That's why I love it so much.
Okay.
Three
No,
times, in fairness to you, Brad.
Yeah.
fair for us as a European because the regular season then the supporters is the real winner.
Yeah.
But you know that is not.
Yeah, we're not in England or Italy.
Watching NBA, and I love that the real winner. Supporters is a temporary winner, and a credit to you for your season, the best season. You were much persistent, but in the end, if you're not in a good shape in the last months, you didn't leave anything more.
Fair enough.
Giorgio, one of the players you didn't mention there with the star-studded cast, I don't think you did at least, is Carlos Vela. And Vela's being honoured this weekend at LAFC after retiring from the game. Any Vela stories for us from your time playing with him when he was magical for LAFC?
One of the most generous number 10 and not selfish number 10 I've seen. He didn't require to be the star because it was already that he was very open to leave a penalty kick or a free kick to someone that needs more. He could have scored some goals more, but he was very generous on the pitch. Technically, why if we talk about his left foot was unbelievable. That I could compare to the Dybala left foot. That really. He's a very nice guy. He helped me a lot, especially in the first weeks, months, to help him to settle my family. We live close. That I was very close to him. I'm very happy that after some trouble, he found the way to finish the career wearing the LAFC jersey, and tomorrow is gonna be honored by all the fans, and I'm sorry to cannot be there, but with my heart I'll be with him and sending a message for sure. I did it for when he retired and everything. He deserved to be the face of the club, the first signing, the people that has really made the history for LAC, because has chosen LAC when LAC didn't exist, and he was able to stay until lifting the supporter shield, MLS Cup, and also the last year the Open Cup, and he deserves to be celebrated.
Yeah, he sure does. What a player Carlos is and was. Giorgio, I have to ask you, there's a lot of big players that come to MLS. Some do well, some don't. Is there anything that surprised you about joining Major League Soccer, or some advice you would give to players? You know, we might see some big ones in the future that you might have come across, and any advice you would give them?
I suggest this to anyone I've spoken in these couple of years to try MLS, to forget a bit sometimes about the money, but to enjoy MLS because that's something that could remain in your life as an experience for many years, for your whole life after the career. I would have loved to arrive a bit early because I played just a year and a half and arrive at 38. That I was really keen to join MLS and really happy and lucky to be chosen by LASC. But I would have loved to arrive a little bit early. I'm happy that the league is trying to modernize and be a little bit more flexible for salary cap and for this type of signing. That because if it's not, it's very hard to compete with Europe. And but it's gonna be better. I'm close to everyone I saw. Also, Don Garber during last year at the Champions League final, Club World Cup final. That many occasions during the last year I met him, and I'm very happy how he's leading this change. That is gonna be easy and probably require much more time. But you as American, you have all the tools to become one of the most important league in the world, and now finally it's much easier for the people in Europe to come there and play in MLS, and not too late in the career was some years ago.
So well said. I'm glad you said it. If you were Don Garber, or if you were able to make any decision and you had one day to go and do it, to change the league in one positive way for you, being a legend of the game and playing in the league, but also watching from afar now, what would it be and why?
Be bold. Be bold. Try to attract investment. Try to be more flexible, and find a way to raise the revenues and raise the salary. That's the key, because I appreciate the way in which we are trying to maintain a balance and to be profitable or sustainable. But sometimes you need to be a bit bold. And now with the World Cup oncoming, that is something. It's a big chance for soccer in US. I don't know how can you start from the grassroots, and probably it's much more the US Soccer Federation that has to take care of this type of thing for children, because it's not easy to play soccer in US. It's not easy at all like it is in Europe. But as for an MLS, the direction is right. And you can see now we are talking much more about MLS. The transfer between MLS and Europe are much easier, and not just the players at 35, 38, but a lot of young players are signing from MLS at the beginning. Yeah, we have seen during the last 3 to 5 years the rise of this type of transfer, and I love it. I think can continue. It's a lot of work to do. I understand it's very heavy sometimes, but there is room for really enjoy and let the soccer get better in US.
Anything, Brad?
No, that's nice.
Beautiful answer. Giorgio, I wanted to ask about defending for you. You're brought up as an Italian, idolizing, I'm sure, Baresi, Maldini, Cannavaro, and you play alongside Barzagli, Bonucci, some of the greatest defenders of all time. You come to a league then that we've often said here, and we've been open about it, and I don't think it's a critical thing. Major League Soccer is just bonkers, beyond bonkers, the way the games can play out sometimes. Last week, we had 57 goals in one single match day. The attacking can sometimes surpass the defending in the league, meaning we get frantic open games. What was it like for you adjusting to the frantic nature of MLS games when you first got here?
I was very lucky to be able to manage a bit, and I was very lucky to find in Steve Cherundolo a coach that has been focused also on the defensive phases, and I try to help my teammates. It's about attention, consistency, and laziness. That's something that you could use more or avoid. Sometimes I think the position of the body is not right, but much more the laziness to drop earlier, to do not cheat.
This type of 360, Brad.
Yeah. That's something that we expose a bit more than what we are habit in Italy more, but also in many other countries in Europe, that the laziness to drop, the laziness to cheat, and the midfield that sometimes here is much easier to consider goal. But I started to understand because of also the format. Honestly, regular season is something that's changed a lot, and I think that you could see also in other sport, because if you look at the data and the numbers of winners of supporter shield and MLS Cup is almost 1 out of 6. And then it's not so important, right? First, second, third in the league. The important is arrive to the playoffs. It's better if arrive at top 4, but it's not so important in the end to arrive first. And that's why I think sometimes, especially on the road, you find some big defeat of teams that are much better than others. I played in Texas 6 times. The average weather was 100 degrees.
So tough. So tough.
And I was just the last 1 out of 6, 5 losses. That is not really happen often to me. And I won the last one because it was 1 game before the playoff, and then we needed 3 points in Austin, and they were almost out. That's also a situation. All the other times I lost also with really bad performances, really bad results. That is something that I wasn't happy to. I didn't habit myself too, but I had to manage, and I had to understand and try to do not be so angry, but try to let my teammates and myself also push more to be more concentrated on this type of game, because different weather, different condition, big time zone, many hours of flight is not an excuse to go there and in a school trip and lose 3-0. That's something that you should force a bit of. But if a lot of teams and a lot of players are still figuring out, that is meaning that it's not easy to fix.
I love that you said that, because it's a great observation. I think oftentimes people will look at maybe the defending or any part of the pitch and throw money at it. And what you're saying there is no, I think it's just habits and the will to, die for 3 points. And I think if that changes, we could see a little bit maybe better defending every now and again. But me personally, I don't really want it. When I played, I like the games to be frantic because there's more chances for a number 9. So keep it.
Giorgio, I don't know if you know this. I doubt you do. But myself, Sasha Kleshner and Brad, we went on a bit of a boys' trip in the off-season last year. We went to Ireland, to my home. We went to Croke Park, had a private tour. We were kicking a ball on the pitch there. Yeah, we went to London. Thierry Henry got us tickets for the North London Derby, and Brad took us there, and we had a ball. Went to Brussels, where Sasha played, and he's a legend in Brussels with Anderlecht. This year, we're looking ahead, and Dax, I think, is going to speak with Bastian Schweinsteiger about maybe going skiing with him. We might go to Italy. So do you want to join us at some point? We might want to link up with Giorgio Chiellini if we can.
I cannot refuse it.
I'm
doing everyone.
What would we do if we went to Italy for a day or two with you? What would the plan be?
Okay, best plan is having a good dinner, good Italian wine, let you look at some good all over the city, and this depends of the situation. If it's really summer and I'm in Livorno that is close to the sea, you could go on the boat and enjoy a bit the sea in Italy. If it's in Turin, it's a bit different, so you could enjoy the Langa on the hills, vineyards, something that is not as bad too.
Oh my Kev, I'm sold. Book the ticket.
Done.
Quick one, Giorgio, on a legend that and is near and dear to your heart, I'm sure. Gattuso, coach of the national team. I'm looking up at a book here. I have up top here. It's Pirlo's book that I loved reading, and the amount of stories that I found myself laughing out loud in his book about Gattuso, the player, and the fun that maybe you guys used to have winding him up. I remember a fire extinguisher story that I read in Pirlo's book.
I was there, and I was sleeping at that time, and I woke up because of the noise and the loud of Rino yelling to Andrea and others players coming back at 2-3 a.m. With the things with the fires and waking up him. It was a crazy stuff. You know what's the problem? That it was during a national team, and after 3 days we played another game and we won easily, because at that time it seems for us to be really easy reach the European or World Cup, and now it's changed a lot. We are not anymore for this. But at the time we had a really funny story about this type of night, and Rino was always Andrea make jokes and makes fun of Rino a lot of time.
Is he that crazy? Sorry, go on, Kev.
No. Is he? Is
Gattuso that crazy? Because from the outside, he just looks wild. Looks hard to contain. Great, funny videos come out of him. Is he crazy?
No, Gattuso is not crazy. Gattuso was sleeping. Someone has started to knock the door. Open the door, and the others, all the players that went out for the night, for a dinner night, after the game, that they start with fire in face of him, and he got mad because it was 2-3 a.m. and also it is dangerous in the face. They didn't care at the time that it was a weird situation, but the day after he got the revenge. Don't worry. And with his
it's just amazing. I love this. I hope he does well. The big tournaments are not the same if Italy are not there. Ireland right now, we're looking like we're not making it. But Italy, I sincerely hope you guys make it with Gattuso leading the charge.
I want to come to US watching Italy and not just the other teams. Please. That they could join it.
Of course. Hey, a few quick hitters that I have for you here before we love you and let you go, Giorgio. Best centre-back of all time for you? Who is it?
Probably Maldini. It's one of the more complete. Of the last 30, 40 years I've seen, Maldini, he was the best. As a marker, I was very lucky to play with Cannavaro. He was unbelievable. As a marker, Maldini is the more complete. Cannavaro as a marker. And if I think about my generation, that is not a pure marker, a pure defender, but I think that Sergio Ramos was the most complete player and defender, because his personality it was too good with the ball. without the ball. It was physical. It was technical. He was a leader that with or without him, the players around him has played very different. That I would have loved to play against him. Not against him, with him. I played against him. I would have loved to play close to him. I would have loved to watch him in MLS. Maybe it's not so. It's not too late.
No, you never know. You never know. If you could relive one moment from your legendary career, what would it be and why?
The Euros, the final of the Euro, the excitement after the final. Because also I had broken my ACL a year and a half before. If would have played in 2020, I would have not played this tournament. And I started to play with consistency in January 21. That I for a year and a half I didn't play 2 games in a row, and because of injury, because of time for the ACL, and then I start to play with consistency and just be there. The first game I still remember much more the anthem, the first game against Turkey. We played the opening game of the Euros, and then arriving to the end with this tournament, coming back from an injury that I missed 2 games and played where I didn't want to play the quarterfinal because the day before I wasn't able to sprint, and we played against Lukaku, and the coach said, "Don't worry, we'll see tomorrow, we'll see." And he came to me a year and a half before the game, "Do you want to play?" What can I do?
You can't say no.
Yeah, let's die on the pitch if I have to. It finished very well. It was the peak of my career, and I won a lot of titles domestically, but I have never won them. I lost 2 Champions League final. I lost another 3 Champions League final. CONCACAF and to UEFA. I lost 1 Euro in 2012, and finally I was able to win a European championship in 2021.
Do you know what I love, Brad? I love the fact that Giorgio's gone with something later in his career, Giorgio, because I think Brad and I, we're like 2 old men sometimes. We sit having a coffee or having a beer, and we're talking about life and kids and just perspective, how perspective changes in our brain as we get older. You probably were able to appreciate the moment a lot more, given that you're a little bit older with children and a life beyond football. Is that fair?
Yes. After the arrival of my daughter, I was 31. And I start to play much better. I start to enjoy and not be. I didn't need to find an enemy. I didn't need to waste energy on what's going wrong during the week or during the game. I was just happy, and my performances start to raise. And after being captain of Italy, captain of national team of Juventus. I had my best season on consistency and performances from 33 to 35. And I enjoy just that is. I enjoy the game. I prepare as the best like I did after until the end, until my last training in which I got, I've broken my meniscus, my last training in Columbus. I've broken my knees, but I really enjoy it till the end.
What's one thing in your career now as we look ahead? You're only 41 years of age. You're a young buck still. What's one thing in your career you want to achieve going forward?
I want to, enjoy and do something in this world in a new position. And I think that the world to be recognized, not just a football player, but shift and to be recognized as a good manager and good human being. I think that I did an amazing career, much more than what I dreamed when I was a kid. Now I would like to at least remove a bit and start to write my new story in soccer, but with a new position, and start to be recognized that, okay, but he has played soccer, but now it's okay, but he's a good manager. He's doing very well. He has a good opportunity. He has a good mind. He's clever. He's curious. He wants to be many things that I know. I have no rush at all. But I want to also write my new story, and not just because of who I was, but because of who I am now.
Hence already several degrees and stuff.
Yeah, several degrees. But you already have the good human being part. You already got that down. Right. Just a quick story before you go. I know you probably got to go. Kev, we went to the All-Stars. I don't know if you remember, Giorgio, 2018 in Atlanta. And Juve walked in. We had a marketing thing. Juve walked in. And he's the only player. Giorgio walks around to every MLS All-Star, shaking our hands, all the staff of every, all our staff, physios, players, young players, whatever, had 2 minutes talks with them. And I'm just like, what is going on here? You know, I'm almost starstruck. I never get starstruck, but just wanted to put that out there so people know who they are listening to and who they're dealing with when they meet Giorgio. He's an unbelievable person.
Love that.
Right. Yeah, I remember very well because I was there. We came in both teams for like a media 1 hour. We were there, and I was very also curious to meet them and understand what's going on. Americans, South Americans, Europeans. That is something. How soccer there? How is the things are going? It's getting better. It's getting worse. What are you thinking? And all these type of things. I was always fascinated by US. I had always had in my mind to play in US, and I can tell you now, I'm going back. I don't know when during my life, but I'm going back for sure to US for do something in my future, because I left part of my heart in LA, and not just in LAFC, but also the city welcomed me very well. I left a lot of friendship, and I'm trying to. I went during the summer with my family to have summer classes, and I think that I don't want to leave my legacy, and sooner or later, I don't know when, because life is unpredictable, but I go back.
Well said. You both have played for LAFC. Who's the biggest celebrity you would have met walking down the street in Los Angeles? Giorgio, you go first.
Can I tell you this story? I arrived June 29. And I arrived, go straight to the stadium, and the day after I went to start to visit some houses in West Hollywood and Beverly Hills, and I sit down for a coffee. On the other part of the city arrived Sylvester Stallone, Al Pacino, and
what's going on?
No way.
The first afternoon that I don't know if the most important. But the first afternoon, I said, I'm living like a Prince of Bel-Air, the sitcom.
Yeah, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
That was the feeling that I had the first month.
Kev, my stories don't match up to that. I went there during COVID. The biggest stars I met was Bob Brandy and Carlos Vela. And I'm grateful because they're unbelievable people. So, yeah.
And hey, last one we got for you, Giorgio. Better FIFA cover with Giorgio Chiellini on it or Sasha Kleshin?
Giorgio Chiellini. It was imagine as a kid I played FIFA and everything. When they asked me to be the cover of the Italian, I did it for 2 years. One of the as a kid and as also a PlayStation player gamer, it was like it's like a children's at Disneyland. It was the same.
Oh man, what an infectious personality, Bradley. Seriously,
unbelievable.
One of the greatest of all time, Giorgio Chiellini. Thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you, man. Yeah, he gets a clap, Kev. He gets a clap for sure.
Absolutely.
Big up to all the soccer fans in US. I'm watching you every weekend. Sometimes live, most of the time after on Apple TV, and really a pleasure, and can't wait to see you in person.
We'll see you in person in January. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, facts.
Cheers, Giorgio. Thank you so much.
Look after yourself, mate.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Really, that my words were really true. And I really thank you for everything. And can't wait to see you in person, and love to watch you every time I do it on Apple TV. Yeah.